Hi, everyone. I'm Nikki, co-host of Elevate, and I am excited to have as my guest today for the Community Connector segment here at Elevate, Jamie Daskalis. She is our chef extraordinaire, local leader, community influencer on the Grand Strand. How are you?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. I mean, I know who you are, and it's my assumption that everyone knows who you are. But if they don't, tell folks a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, my name is Jamie Daskalis. I've been in Myrtle Beach now I'm coming on my year 12th, I think. I moved here in 2014. I moved down here with my son at the time. We opened Johnny's Waffles and Benedicts, which that's what usually everyone knows.
Yeah.
I'm an autism mom. My son James was diagnosed when he was 3 years old. Uh, I like to play the piano. I do pottery, and I just really love living in Myrtle Beach. Coming from New York, Myrtle Beach gave me like a sense of community that I did not know I was missing until I moved here. And, I don't know. I kind of felt the shift right away. So it's been lovely living here, and I kind of love the community that's been built around my restaurant and around my son and just around me. And I really appreciate it. I really appreciate this area. So anything I can do to make everyone healthy or give some tips or just share about my life, maybe inspire someone else. I'm always willing to do that.
I love that about you. You're such a giver and you truly care about the Myrtle Beach community. And we love your son, seeing how he's growing and doing so well and thriving. I know that just warms your heart. It certainly warms mine. And you've also opened up a second business having to do with a wine bar, right?
Yeah, my business partner, Lisa Lee, runs the tasting room on Ninth, and it's about 2 years now. And it's downtown in the Arts Innovation District, so it's kind of helping rebrand that area and build up that area. And it's been a real asset, I think, to the community, especially downtown. And people really loving what she's doing there, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about health and wellness since we are a health and wellness podcast. You are really into your health and wellness. And I watched your videos that you put out about how you train, and it's really mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. So talk about your health and wellness journey. What's important to you?
Well, the reason, I mean, I was always struggled. I think I want to say I started my journey probably 4 years ago now. And the reason why I even was like, okay, you need to make a change is I just felt sick all the time. Felt tired. I felt bloated. I felt like I was addicted to sugar craving, especially late at night. I was like having SI joint pain here in the back to the point like I couldn't sleep. Like it hurt to sleep on my side, my back, my stomach. I was like, had to like get momentum to get up off the couch. And I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not even 40 years old yet. So I started, putting myself on this little regimen at home, at night after James went to sleep, just on my yoga mat, started doing like mobility things, which at the time I didn't really even know what I was doing, but I was doing whatever I could do just to kind of get myself back into the habit of like, and not even like working out so much as like going to the gym and lifting weights and a whole hour. Like even sometimes it was only 15 minutes just to kind of release the stress from the day. I someone had sent me an article at the time, something about SI joint pain, and they were started talking about the hip flexors and how we store, especially women, store a lot of trauma in their hip flexors, like and how it can affect digestion, health, mood, sleep, just literally everything. And it's right around your gut, and they say the gut is a second brain. So it got me down this whole rabbit hole. So I started learning to release the hip flexors, and once I started doing that, like I feel like I really did let out a lot of trauma, crying and just like relief. And slowly and surely that pain started going away. And then I started falling into supplements, and I found some supplements that really worked for me. So I mean, it took some time, and then once I started feeling like I plateaued, especially in my fitness journey, I got a personal trainer, and I joined a studio, women's only studio here in Myrtle Beach, which they really taught me a lot and helped me. And I still go there again to this day, 2 days a week. But that's just between like the physical part, and then weaving in some yoga, weaving in just hobbies that don't have to do with work. And I just feel like I just started feeling a little bit better. I tried, I also did some neurofeedback with a local therapist. I started talking to a therapist.
Yes.
All the things, and it's really helped. And I noticed, like, now finally here, I'm 4 years later, my sleep has finally started to improve, and I do feel better. My brain doesn't get so fixated, and when I get upset, like, you know how you spiral, you get upset about something, you spiraling.
It's the loop. It's the loop.
Yeah, it's the loop. Oh my
Yeah.
God, you can't get out of it.
Yeah.
So I've found different ways to help me with that, and um, so it's been interesting, and it's not so much like one part or one thing. And when I try to tell people, I tell people, let's start off with an article I write about my hip flexors, and they kind of look at me like I'm crazy. But
What?
if you fall into the rabbit hole like I did, you might be like, oh, okay, like I get it. Um, but for me, it's like, I work out. I do a little bit of mobility every night, even if it's not a workout, because you know how you get to the thing, you're like, I'll work out tomorrow, and then tomorrow never comes. So I always keep myself on a schedule. Like, even before I go to bed, if I'm too tired, I'll do like two little moves just so my brain keeps that consistency going. And then I'm big on taking magnesium and theanine and a good multivitamin. And I take probiotics. And then I do really try to limit my sugar. I've switched out so many sugary things for like a little bit better snacks. And it took a little minute for my brain to be like, at first you might try like a gluten-free cookie or a cookie made with almond flour and be like, this doesn't taste as good, but it does taste good. You're just used to the high sugary things.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about that, how you switched out the sugar because you are a chef. You
Yeah.
serve amazing meals at your restaurant. I mean, obviously the chef background helps, but for just a regular person like me, give us an idea of how we can do that because I feel many of us struggle with the sugar issue.
Well, for me, like if I'm making like, at the restaurant, obviously I'm known for the waffles, and
Yeah.
they're not exact. I mean, they're not super sweet, but they are sweet. They have sugar in them. I'm going to be honest. So,
We can all modify and figure out ways, not because when we're out at restaurants, but on a daily basis in our
yeah.
lives at home, there are ways that we can start cutting back, and that's a healthier option. It's the little things that start to stack up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the little things. So, the first couple days when I was like, okay, Jamie, like the sugar intake is ridiculous. Like I'm going to be honest, I'm embarrassed, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like I used to order DoorDash desserts at like 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Like it was, and once in a while it is okay, but I was being aggressive with it. So at some point I was like, you need to make a change. And I ended up going on a juice cleanse for a few days. And that was like the first few days was rough because my body by the third day I was like twitching, but I just, I pushed through that. And like just little things, like I used to keep like a lot of chocolate in the house or used to drink a lot of chocolate milk or dairy or keep like all kinds of different cookies and chips and all kinds of stuff in the house. And I just got rid of everything. And then, now I'll get like the Good One Potato Company chips in the house if I want some chips, or I'll keep like I'll get like one chocolate bar, and I'm like okay with having like three pieces if I want it. So I do still have it, but it was like I don't go get one of those family sized chocolate bars now and eat them in one sitting like I used
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
So I think just first of all, like getting rid of everything and dealing with that first few days of like that especially if you like a lot of sugar, like in your coffee, sugary coffees and stuff like that, you will feel like not good for first few days, but then after that your body starts to catch up now because you're just withdrawing sugar. Just like if you were addicted to something else, unfortunately. So, and like I cut out the sugar in my coffee and I use maple syrup. When I make a protein shake, instead of putting anything sugary in it, I use like an almond milk and I put maple granulars in there, maple syrup. So that helps still get a little bit of sweetness. And actually, I feel like coffee with maple syrup tastes better anyway.
I'm gonna have to try that. I mean, I've done honey and I just do creamer, don't add sugar. But I'll add the maple syrup now as a different option. I might like that because I've gotten to where I don't like things really real sweet either. But that's been a process to get there, like you're talking about.
Yeah, it's been a process, and at first you think like, oh, like because there's one company, I don't remember what it's called, maybe Nature's Made, that makes cookies, and like the first time I had a chocolate chip cookie, I'm like, because I used to eat like Chips Ahoy cookies, let's say, and I got rid of them, but after like a few cookies, like once I got that like, once my brain streak kind of altered
Yeah.
it, like I try some of that stuff, I'm like, this stuff is really good. It's just it's not. packed with sugar like you're used to. So your brain is like, in my opinion, is playing tricks on you. So just little things like that, like swapping out. And even when I make pancakes at home, especially at home, like I'll just use almond milk instead of buttermilk, kind of cut out the dairy. I don't really know. I still put butter in it just to kind of help anything. And then if I do eat something like pancakes, I always make sure I eat eggs for protein, because the carbs don't really, the protein is what your body wants. So if you're having something sugary, make sure you're making sure you're getting your protein in too, because that's when that's what's going to fill your body up, so you're not craving again.
Have you found the protein to be a major game changer for you? Because I've added more protein to my diet as well.
Yeah, I was for I my whole life I was trying to be thin. Oh my god, I felt a little bloated. And then at some point I was like, I want to be jacked.
Love
So, and my trainer used to be like, you're not eating enough protein, and I'm like, I feel like I am. She's like, well, you're not. So then, protein shakes, a good protein powder is good, or just finding a protein. Like I really like shrimp. So I'll eat 8 shrimp instead of 6. Just anywhere I can get, I'll have eggs. There's been so much illusion that eggs are not healthy. I don't personally think that's
I
true.
love eggs.
I love eggs. I always eat eggs. Eggs are easy protein. If I'm hungry at night before bed, for me, I feel like eggs are something easy I could eat. Like even if it's a little bit later, that it breaks down quickly and my body doesn't have to work hard to break it down. So, but adding protein, more protein, like the days I don't get enough protein, I am feeling ravished. Like my brain is like starving. My body, I can feel it. Like I don't feel good. So protein for me has been a big game changer. Because, my trainer was like, you need like 150 grams a day. And I'm like, Amanda, you're killing me.
I struggle with getting enough, but I have made it a priority, and I can tell when I need more. So that's really good perspective for protein and how it does affect our bodies. You mentioned something very interesting here. I just always wanted to be skinny. Talk about that and what switched for you to say, this isn't really realistic. It shouldn't be what we focus on, right? I'm assuming that's kind of what happened for
Yeah.
you.
For me, like, I was having issue with like all this belly bloat. Like I was almost 150 pounds, and I was just not feeling good all the time, digestive issues. And, I just wasn't feeling well and I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was very upset and didn't really know what to do with myself. I couldn't eat. So I was just like, at the time, Laleo had just opened down in Market Commons. And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I feel terrible. I'm like, but my body needs something. I'm like, I'm just going to go get some juices, like at least until I have an appetite again. So I went down there, and I remember getting 6 daily detoxes. It's their carrot, apple, lemon, and ginger. I think it's in that one. And I had that for the first week, and I felt amazing. And I feel like it really helped, like, because I was getting a little bit of sugar from the apple, and then the carrot was helping detox, and it was looking great. My hair started growing. So I did that for like 6 months. I had one almost every day. And I just and then I started like letting go of other things, and all that bloatiness and everything fell off of my body. And then what was left, then I was 117 pounds. And I was like, oh my God, I am so thin. Like you could see my ribs. And then I was like, I don't love this either. So, and then, I started working on my hip flexors, started doing some mobility stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm like, I want to be strong and I want to be flexible. So when I hit the plateau, and like I said, I started at Strong Selves, the studio here. I told my trainer, she's like, what is your goal? I said, I want to be able to get off the couch without having to gain momentum. And it's like, you know how you get off the couch and you're rocking your body, get up. And she's looking at me laughing. I was like, no, I'm like, it's serious. I'm like, and I said, I want to be strong, but I still want to be flexible. And I want my joints to feel good. Like I'm tired of everything I do. Like every time I bend over, my back, my knees, like everything. So she's like, being strong and flexible, that's a lot of work. And you probably want to train in calisthenics. And I was like, I think that's kind of what I'm already doing. I was doing a lot of body weight movements at home. So it kind of took off from there. And although like I still have some tightness in some of my joints, like my mobility and my range of motion has like skyrocketed. In some spots, I'm still feeling kind of trapped up a little bit. And I'm trying to figure out like, because each part of your body, from everything I've learned holds different traumas. You
Yeah.
know, depending on your childhood traumas, they're stored in your body. The body never, that's why that book is The Body Never Forgets. So, you know, I've had to let go of a lot of things. I've had to learn, I've had to cry things out. I've had to do a lot of that. So, you know, I still have a lot of tension sometimes in my hips and in my shoulders. So I'm trying to figure out, like, you know, what I can do to break that out and break that open. And it's been a process, and I'm on it for, you know, 4 years now. But, you know, they say it takes half the time to get over a relationship that you in it. So when I started, I had a 34-year-old relationship with my body. So I still have some time to go.
Hey,
Um,
we're all a work in progress until we're
yeah, we
not,
have
right?
progress. Yeah, but yeah. So now, I mean, I've bulked up a lot. I'm 142 pounds the last time I checked.
You look amazing.
Yeah, I wear men's clothing. So when I started wearing men's clothing, I was a 28 waist, and they were big on me. And I just bought new clothes, and I'm a 32.
But you're
And I
happy with
feel
that look. You're happy with
I,
how you look. That's
mhm,
important. That's the thing, to be happy with where you are.
mhm.
Walk me through what your week-long routine looks like quickly with your workout. So you've talked about some of the things that you do, but when you think about your routines of wellness and health and working out, what does that look like in 1 week for Jamie?
Okay, so Mondays I go to yoga usually. Tuesdays I do pottery. So I'm working my brain. Wednesdays and Fridays, I do a 1 hour session with my trainer. And then I try to fit in, if I can, one workout at home. But the rest of the week is usually, so every day, usually not Monday nights, because sometimes after yoga, I feel like I need to. But I do like a little mobility routine every night. And sometimes it's 5 minutes, and sometimes it's 30 minutes. It just depends how much energy or time I have. But I do it before bed. And sometimes, you know, sometimes I wish I could do it in the morning, but it's too much. But I don't have like a crazy workout routine to say like I'm at the gym every day. So 3 times a week I do work out outside the home, yoga, and then usually the rest of the nights I do right here on my yoga mat at home. And it's a small mobility routine, like I said. And or if I don't do the mobility, sometimes I'll use the percussion gun and just, you know, all my muscles to release tension that way. I'll do some trigger point release with one of those yoga balls that you know,
Yeah.
if you have a knot, you kind of lay on it. So I'll spend time doing it. Like last night, I did a small mobility routine, and then I took the cork yoga ball and like laid on it in my armpits and on my ribs to kind of relieve some tension. And my shoulders went from this to this to this. So I was showing my partner last night after I did the one side, because I'm very tight right in here. I said, look, I said, do you see my shoulders? She's like, oh my God, the one is like an inch further down than the other. I was like, I know. And then I did the other one and they matched. So just, you know, it's not always even a workout. Sometimes I just lay on a yoga ball or like stuff like that. Or I use the percussion gun to soften my neck, because I get tense up in here. And then my
Well, me too,
sinuses.
Jamie. Yeah.
So I use that gun, and you know, it's very gentle and it feels good. And afterwards you just feel like,
Yeah, that's great. Do you ever get in a sauna? Because I do extremely hot yoga. So it's 105 degrees when I'm doing the yoga, and it is hard and fast moving, but it's the heat that makes the cardiovascular ramp up. So I was just curious because sauna's all the thing now.
so I go to hot yoga on Mondays. That's where I go. And
Okay.
we do the Bikram class, which is 105, which that class is harder for me because of the heat.
Yes.
Or I'll do the power yoga, which I think I'm doing power yoga tonight, which is like 95. And that class feels like it's just as hot by the end of it because I'm dying from the
I
yoga.
totally relate to that.
So, but I struggle. I prefer cold plunges over the sauna. Weirdo. I'm that weirdo that likes the cold plunge. So for me, a cold plunge really resets my body. So obviously afterwards, like when I was going to Mind Zero, I do not go into the sauna first. I go straight into the cold plunge. And then I usually, when I get out, I put warm water on my body to heat it up quickly. And then I go sit in the sauna, but like for like 10 minutes. But if you had to be like, you're getting a cold plunge or getting the sauna, you put them in front of me and I can only choose one, I'm getting in the cold plunge.
Wow. You're special, Jamie. Okay, just you mentioned yeah, I'm not, but I do want to be cooled off as soon as I do my hot yoga. So that's my mini cold plunge. But you said Mind Zero. We have actually talked to them as one of our guests on Elevate. So you are clearly showing up for your wellness community in Myrtle Beach. All of these businesses, the juicing, the yoga. I mean, you believe in health and wellness, and you're showing. And is it exciting to see how that area is growing for the Grand Strand, the different things that are coming to the area, like Mind Zero?
Yes, I love it. Once in a while, I find someone and, I mention mobility or I mention something and they're like, and they get excited to like, and they're like, oh, me too. And I'm like, oh my God. And we just start bantering back and forth. I'm like, I'm sorry, I could be here all day talking to you about mobility. So like my one yoga instructor the other day, she asked me something after class. And I'm like, something has been really bothering me. And then she's like, I started taking some courses on mobility. And I was like, we need to talk.
Yes, I love it. Yeah.
So I
So
do love it. I love that it's becoming so like more readily available, and it really matters. We've been getting poisoned for too many years now, I feel like, and our bodies are suffering. And it's nice to find other people that are interested in making themselves feel better, and that just or people that are interested and open to be for a different way. I was closed off. I was like fresh juice, or I hate smoothies, and I want the chocolate cake every night, or a sleeve of Oreo cookies at a time. The serving size is 2, and I would have 8 to 10. So I was feeling like not good. I want to use a different word, but
yeah, yeah.
I was feeling not good. And I mean, I show people that picture of me when I was just bloated at 150 pounds, and it was just all right here in the midsection. And then like 6 months later, I have another picture that it was like I was nothing. All that weight just fell off of me, and I was like, okay, I need to, I need to do something. I need to gain some weight back. So I'm happy where I am. I still have my moments, but when I'm bloated now, I kind of look. What did you eat today? Like, what did you do? Are you stressed about something? When was the last time you went to the bathroom? Did you take your supplements? It's always a reason that you're bloated. I mean, unless it's that time of the month, and if you're a woman, it's the time of the month. You can't really help that as much. But like, I look at it more of like, instead of just accepting it, like, what have I eaten the last few days? Like, I was not feeling well last week. I had biscuits and gravy like 4 times in 2 days. And it was so good, but my body was like, what were you thinking?
Right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe that was, a little too much, Jamie. I know it was delicious. So like things like that, like my body reacted to it now it's very sensitive when I do that to myself. So if I order a piece of chocolate cake out at a restaurant, I might only eat half now compared to the whole thing. So just little things like that. And I'm not depriving I don't ever feel deprived like, damn, I wish I could make myself a bowl of ice cream. Instead of having ice cream in the house, I just go out and get I support a local business and get a scoop of ice cream. Because when you have it in the house, you're going to eat it every day. When you have to go, when you just enjoy it once in a while. So just little changes like that. But I don't deprive myself of anything. I still eat the waffles, and I still eat the pancakes, and I still have chocolate cake, and I still eat biscuits and gravy. I just
Maybe just once a week and not twice a week. And for the record, Jamie's waffles are, I mean, if you have never been to your restaurant, they are so good. So good. I mean, you just are a staple in the community in so many ways with your restaurant and with the way that you champion for the Myrtle Beach community. You've been an ambassador chef for the state of
yeah.
South Carolina. I mean, you're famous. You're worldwide known for just being all things chef oriented, but you're a great person. I love your health and wellness journey. It really is inspiring. And we could talk for days, but as we wrap up, I want you to give our viewers and listeners, you know, the encouragement or the tip or to take that next step to do what you did when you didn't feel good.
I mean, I want to just say, like, it's never too late. You're never too old. Don't feel like you're too broken. It's never too late to start. It's just never too late to start. And you start with little things like, if you feel like you do intake a lot of sugar, that would be my first suggestion for anyone. And sugar is a silent killer, and we probably all consume too much of it at some point. But, find either maybe do a little research, find the supplements that are most important, make sure you take a good multivitamin, and just little steps like that, you can really start to feel better. And, you clean out your pantry, throw it out. So that's just the kind of stuff that I did. But it's never too late to start. If you feel like your back is hurting and you've been to doctors, you've gotten shots, this and that, I was getting steroid shots in my hip every 6 months because my SI joint was bothering me so much. And now once in a while, I'll feel like a little pain. I'll do some stretches and it feels better. So like, and I was going to doctor after doctor, and where sometimes that is, you need, medical intervention. I'm not down, but I did not. I needed someone to explain to me how the muscle works and how the body works and what's a hip flexor and where that plays a role in your entire body, because it's the center of your body and it's pulling in both directions. It can cause all kinds of things. So for me, I just want to say it's never too late to start. Baby steps, give yourself encouragement, hang out with like-minded people that maybe you have a friend that wants to get better too. Don't put so much sugar in your coffee. And just do the research. Like you need to put the work in for yourself, because you do feel better and you do have more energy and you are less moody. And it's incredible. Like the things that my body can do now at 40, I'm going to be 41 this year. At 27, I could not do. Like the things that my body's capable now, and the way I'm getting strong, and my calisthenics journey, like the things, I can't believe where I've came to. And it's because I never gave up on myself. You stay consistent. Like I said, every day. You don't have time for a 30-minute workout? That's fine. Do 10 push-ups.
Sure. Just do something. Yeah.
Just do something, so you don't say I'm going to work out tomorrow and then tomorrow never comes.
Yeah. Well, we all know how that goes.
Yeah, I was inconsistent. I would work out like crazy for 6 months, miss a day, and I wouldn't go again and I'm like, what is going on? Because it's hard to go to the gym. Like if you don't have an hour and a half to go to the gym every day, but you have 10 minutes to get off your phone, stop scrolling, and do 10 push-ups if you need to.
That was great advice. Get off your phone, stop scrolling, and do 10 push-ups. Do something every day. That's so good. Jamie, you're amazing. I am so glad that I met you in my journey, back in the local news days, and
long time ago.
Yeah, and see you grow and see you do all the amazing things. And your health and wellness journey is truly inspirational. I love following you and seeing how well you're doing, you and your son. And yeah, cheers to you. Thanks for sharing your health and wellness journey with us. You're awesome.